good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to the Done Creative. Before we get into this pick a card reading, I just wanted to let you guys know I have a live stream channel called the Done Creative Live and a Patreon. Both of those things are linked in the description below if you would like more information about that. But for this pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out who you are becoming. What is it you are evolving into, or who is it, I should say, that you are evolving into? So if you are new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to center your energy, and focus in on piles number 1 with the share card, piles number 2 with the lovely Ella Fitzgerald card, and pile number 3 with the awesome Dolly Parton card. Cher's pretty cool too, I didn't mention that, but she really is. All of these lovely ladies are amazing artists, amazing musicians. But once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also pin them as the top comment. Please remember, these are general readings, so only take the information that resonates with you and your situation and leave the rest behind. So without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, for those of you who selected the share card, this is going to be your message about who you are becoming. So with the share card, it says here, nothing becomes a legend more than not giving a damn. So this is you just embodying that authenticity, and you're not really caring if other people in your life aren't really on board with who your authentic self is, because it's more important to you to really feel like you are living your truth than to try to please everybody, especially my people pleasers out there. This is you really embodying that authenticity. And this isn't you having to go around with your middle fingers out to everybody. This is not what we're saying with this card, but I really just see this as a quiet authenticity and just being really, you know, unapologetic about who you are. But it also says here, bad taste trumps no taste any day. So this is you just being willing to make mistakes along your way, not just trying to wait till you have everything figured out and everything perfect before you make any moves or make any decisions or just be who you are. We're all gonna make mistakes in life, so this is just you really owning that aspect and knowing that, yeah, even if I make mistakes, guess what? I'm gonna make sure that I am living from that place of truth. But it says here, lovers come and lovers go, but sequins are forever, which is interesting. So there just may be certain relationships in your life. Doesn't have to necessarily be a lover, but you really are just finding those things that are your core truth, your core values. Those are the sequins in this whole analogy here. And sticking firm to your guns of your core values and letting those who align come into alignment with it, or those who don't align, just kind of go on their merry way. So what else do we have for the share pile? We're gonna go ahead and deal a couple things on camera, more than a couple things actually, but I just wanted to get a little sampling here for you to get started before we just go into all the shuffling. So we have here also, in conjunction with the share card, we have the Knight of Swords and the 5 of Cups. I really want to start here with the 5 of Cups because you are becoming someone who is taking that happiness, that beautiful love and affection, you're taking it into your own hands, because in this depiction of the 5 of Cups, we don't have 3 spilled and 2 upright. No, there are 3 still upright, 1 has spilled, and she has 1 that she is dumping out on her own. So these are choices she is making. So you really are embodying this more authentic version of yourself, and as a result, you're making the choices of what to leave behind, what to bring in, what to focus on, what to, you know, do away with. So this is a really empowering 5 of Cups energy here, where you aren't crying over that spilled milk. You are really deciding, okay, this thing in my life isn't for me anymore. And for some of you, this could be limiting beliefs surrounding love, surrounding loving yourself, self-love stuff, because she has that Ace of Cups in her own hands and she's the one dumping it out. Then with this Knight of Swords card here, this is you just finding new ways to communicate with those around you, especially those who you really jive and vibe with. You're just more lighthearted in your communication, not so stiff and rigid and serious all the time, but you're just lightening up a little bit. Even if you're talking about serious things, it's like you're finding the comedy and just the lightness within each thing that you're talking about, or the communications and connections that you're having with people. You're just finding a more lighthearted approach even to those very serious topics. Okay, so let's go in here and get a couple more cards on who you are becoming. Group number 1. Who is group 1 becoming? We have here, we have the 3 of paper fold. So this is, let's actually put this over here. So transformation, learning, and change. Ooh, yes, we are getting into that very soon here. What else? This one as well, the healer. Man, I love these so much. I'm already in love with what's going on here. So wow, with this transformation, learning, and change, this is a Luna moth. Someone, many someones told me that because the last time I used this deck and pulled this card, I didn't know what kind of moth that was, and now I know. I just see the little shooting star, the more you know, going across the screen. But yes, transformation. You guys really are making changes to yourself. I just heard glow up, but this is an internal glow up from your heart and expanding outwards. So it's going to start within you, and then it's going to start coming out of you. And it's interesting, right as I'm saying that, I'm really drawn to Cher's more curly hair, which really she left behind in the 80s. She was very stick straight and long flowing hair in the 70s, and then by the 80s and even into the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, she was rocking a more permed look or kind of semi-curly to wavy look. And really this to me reads as some of you embodying your more natural hair texture, whatever that is, if it's curly, if it's straight, regardless, you're just wanting to rock more authenticity. And others of you are wanting to try something new with a hairstyle, so keep that in mind as well. But with this healer card here, compassion, recovery, and consent. So some of you are recovering from a broken heart, and that is this depiction here, dumping that Ace of Cups out like, I don't need your weird brand of love. I'm going to give myself the love I need. And those of you who are getting over heartbreak, even if you didn't break up with a person, maybe there was a heartbreaking thing that happened between the two of you, especially with miscommunication or, you know, names that were called, words that were said that just cut right through the heart. You guys are healing from that or overcoming it, recovering from it. And like I was saying, you guys really are coming from that heart-centered space, that authenticity, that trust, that love that is like oozing from within you. And really doing some heart chakra work, heart chakra meditation would really benefit you guys. And I'm drawn to the flowers here on his kind of get up. We've got 5 petaled flowers, and 5 is that number of change. So you guys are making changes, maybe even to your wardrobe, but just changes where your heart is concerned and changes where, you know, you're no longer settling for anything less than what you deserve. All right, what else is going on? What deck do we want to go to next? I think we're gonna go here. Let's get a card. Who group 1 is becoming? Who is group 1 becoming? It's right here. Yes, okay, we have Scribe, and I love that paired up with that Knight of Swords, that kind of wordsmith energy, preserving knowledge and information. And the shadow aspect of this is altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So those of you who are creatives or writers or just, you know, trying on other people's personalities to see if, hey, is this me? Am I funny? Am I witty? Am I serious? Am I whatever? You're no longer wanting to insult your own soul by trying to be a second-rate version of someone else. You're really leaning more into your authenticity, and some of you, as a result of that, are wanting to write about this transformation you've gone through or speak about it, because, you know, scribing doesn't always have to just be writing. It can be speaking. It can be creating some sort of art where you are really highlighting these things that you've been through and really expressing yourself. So that's really beautiful, that you can become a better, greater version of yourself. That potential that has been untapped within you is starting to come out, and it's beautiful. All right, what else is going on for group 1? Who are group 1 becoming right now? All right, yes, we have here the Void, Embrace, Winter, and Stop is the first word here, and the Great Cosmic Womb. So some of you may be going through that grace period with that healer card over here, where you're wanting to do more healing and just take really good care of yourself as you evolve into who you're becoming, rather than just trying to force it to happen overnight. Remember, with that moth symbolism here, the moth has to go from a caterpillar to a moth. They have to go into that chrysalis, and then even right after they emerge out of that chrysalis, they need a bit of a rest period. So even if you've already emerged from your amazing chrysalis and you are this transformed and amazing butterfly, you just need a hot minute to let your wings dry out and to just get your bearings on this whole new world that you are in. For some of you, this could come as a result of a spiritual awakening that you've recently had or had in the past, and you're still uncovering layers of the version of yourself who you know is deep down in there, but you aren't quite that version yet. You're getting there though. And that rest is going to really aid you in getting there. So allow yourself time to rest. All right, we also have here Earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Exactly what we were talking about with all of this. You just need to get your bearings, especially after some sort of awakening or spiritual epiphany that you've had in your life. You just need a hot minute to reacclimate yourself and know what your next steps are and who you are and how you resonate with things around you and people around you. You may be in this incubation time too, wanting to be learning a lot of things about your own, I'm hearing human design, about your astrology, about maybe your personality type, Myers-Briggs, or Enneagram, any of that. Learning about who you are as your blueprint, this can really help you into leaning into that more authentic part of yourself as well. All right, one more, we got two more decks to bring out to play. All right, let's get 2 cards from this deck. Who is group 1 becoming, please, Spirit? We have Heart Home, and I love that. You are coming home to your heart. Exactly, and the color scheme here is the exact color scheme we've got going on the clothing over here, and this is all about compassion. Closing out with this 27, 2 plus 7 is 9. You're closing out that old cycle where you're no longer faking it till you make it. You are embodying this new heart-centered version of yourself. And I think it's interesting here too. We have the Luna moth on the little house, and we've got all these little, these to me read more as moths as well rather than butterflies, and a little home here as well. So very beautiful synchronicity here coming in hot for you, group 1. And I do believe these are bleeding heart flowers. So there may be symbolism within the moth, Luna moth specifically here. I'm hearing snow moth, but I don't even know if that's a thing. Spirit is just saying snow moth. So if there is a such thing as snow moth, just go look up a snow moth and what it means. Also, the bleeding heart flowers might have some symbolism there. Additional homework if you want to go seek that out. One more card for who group 2 is, sorry, group 1 is becoming. Spirit knows who I mean. Man, my October reading, if you haven't seen it yet, is a total hot mess. I have mixed up every single pile with names because I set these cards off to the side, the piles here like this, but I set them over here like this last time, and I actually picked up pile 3 to read as pile 2, and then pile 3, or 2 to read as pile 3. It was a whole thing, but I'm trying not to do that this time. But yes, with this Root Girl card here, we've got the disowned self. So this is you really embracing the shadow. Also, with this symbolism here with the Root Girl, she looks like a very young child. So to me, this is also inner child work. You really are going to the root of who you are on that more authentic level, who you were before the world told you who you should be. That is who you're tapping into to bring back to the light, to really integrate with the more authentic version of who you are. And I love the progression from the 9 to the 10 because we've got a 4 plus 6 here, which equals 10, or the number 46. So the numbers 27 and 46 might be angel numbers you want to go look up for additional guidance, or the number 9 to 10. So progression, you're closing out these old cycles and then you have a new beginning. I love this. Yes. All right, let's get a couple more cards. Who is group 1 becoming? Woo, here they are. Let me just put the stack down here. And we've got school and sensitivity. Okay, so with the school card, it says the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. And this doesn't have to be a literal school. This could be heart school. Remember what we were saying here with all these books back here, wanting to learn about who you are on a soul level. What was your blueprint when you came into this incarnation, and also learning about more spiritual topics, divination possibly, or ways that you can use your authenticity to create abundance and wealth in your life by making it a business. What authentic parts of yourself could bring income in for you? We also have the sensitivity card. You're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. This is my psychic gifts card coming in hot. So some of you may be also wanting to study up on different spiritual gifts or psychic powers, because you guys are psychic. And those people out there in the back that I just heard, I'm not psychic. Yes, you are. Because remember this, every step along your way, remember this. First and foremost, your natural state of being is spirit. Beyond the five senses, that is your natural state. You have just forgotten that. We all have, from time to time, have forgotten that our natural attire, our natural state is spirit. So of course we are spiritual beings. Of course we have spiritual gifts. Of course we do. Of course we do. Of course we do. So if I haven't convinced you yet, maybe just do some soul searching and diving into that shadow where you don't feel worthy to have these gifts, because you are, and you do have these gifts. And you may need to be making some changes in your life, slowing down a little bit, not going out so much, not spending so much money on things that are more frivolous. This is you really getting in tune with those new sensitivities that you have to your new gifts, and really feeling into them, communicating with spirit and asking spirit to give you signs, symbols, synchronicities as to how you can embody these gifts even further. Okay, group number 1, so that is all I'm seeing for you on who you are becoming and what you are evolving into, or who you are evolving into, I should say. But thanks again so much. You will have to let me know below what you thought, if it resonated, any stories you want to share. I always love to hear from you guys, and as always, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you, group 1, right here back at the Den Creative, also over on my live stream channel and my Patreon. Both of those things are linked in the description below, and we hope to see you over there. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, or those of you who chose the lovely Ella Fitzgerald card, this is going to be your reading for who you are becoming or who you are evolving into. And group 1 did not disappoint, so let's get into this. Actually, we're going to just start with beautiful Ella, and then we'll get into those tarot cards that are hidden behind Ella here. But with the Ella card, it says you are your own best teacher. Yes, you guys really are leaning internal, getting those answers, listening to your intuition, going within, connecting to your own higher self, your guides, your angels, your crossed over loved ones. You're connecting as within, so without. So as you connect within and you become your own best teacher, then you will see other things reflected outside of you that can really aid you in your learning process. But you guys really are in this process of wanting to learn more about yourselves, learn more about others, learn more about life. Some of you may even be wanting to switch directions in your career or some sort of hobby that you don't feel right in this moment that you have the skills for, but just you wait, because you are acquiring these skills and you're going to be unstoppable. It's really exciting. Then here it says, nothing is more hard won than innocence. So this is you kind of shuffling back through all of the trauma, wounds, resentment, and guilt that you have been through in your life, and really feeling your way through that. All those shadow aspects of yourself, that beautiful and lovely inner child that is still beneath the surface. Nothing is more hard won than innocence. So this really requires you facing your shadow. And if you guys want help in knowing what your shadow is and how to face it and what's going on under there, I recently posted a interview with your shadow pick a card reading. If you are interested in that, I will link that in the cards above right here for you to check out after this if you would like to. But if you already have watched that, then this might just be a continuation of that video for you, because this feels very transformational as well. But you working through that shadow is going to bring you into beautiful alignment with that inner child. And then here it says intuition beats experience. Yes, intuition, your own best teacher. This is about going within and really listening. Sometimes you gotta get real quiet and a little bit uncomfortable to really hear that inner voice, but it's so worth it, you guys. So do that. Take time every day to just be, without music, without TV shows, without other people around talking your ear off. Especially if you can get out in nature and just be, just watch the birds fly by, listen to the rustle of the leaves, listen to the water rushing past if you're down near a river or an ocean, wherever you are. Just really tune into nature, because you are a part of this natural world as well. So you tuning into nature and communing with nature is going to help you Really lean into your intuition, and you're gonna learn that you know a lot more than you're giving yourself credit for, because you're just going, I heard the word credit, and then Spirit's like, yes, use that analogy. So it's almost like you're going on the line of credit of just this lifetime, at least with your conscious mind. It's like, well, my line of credit is only this much. But Spirit's saying, oh, no, 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 no. You have all these assets of the backlog of past lives and just experience your soul has gained through many, many, many incarnations, and you have access to that. But you need to tune in, go within to get access to that. So you are becoming someone who goes within and can access exactly the information you need, and that pertinent information that is going to really help shape and morph you into, yes, who you're becoming. So let's get some additional guidance from the tarot that we've already drawn here. And what do we have here? We've got the Ace of Cups and Justice. So wow, some of you are really seeing some like vindication of the past come to light. This doesn't really look like you having to fight tooth and nail. I feel like that part of your journey is already past and over. If you've already been fighting some sort of legal battle or fighting just to be your authentic self, or to have your voice heard, or to be in love with life, in love with yourself, in love with others, the hard part is behind you, is really what I'm seeing with this. Because with this Justice, you're going to see those rights wronged. You're going to see all of that stuff from the past, all that good karma you put in the past really start to pay off for you now and in the near future. Especially pairing Justice up with the Ace of Cups. This is you finally, those of my singles out there, this is you finally finding the one that karmically is not testing you. This is someone who you guys can grow and evolve together without having to go down all of those karmic cycles and soul contracts. This to me feels much more lighthearted, happy, and fulfilling. And those of my couples, maybe you are also closing out old cycles in your existing relationship that felt more karmic. You're closing out those karmic cycles so that you can just enjoy each other and just enjoy the relationship. But this is also about self-love, really feeling for the first time that you are on your own side. Those of you who beat yourselves up or listen to your ego a lot, this is you shifting out of that dynamic and listening more to your higher self and realizing that you deserve love, you deserve the love of others, and it's just going to be this snowball effect of you feeling like justice is being served in your life. All right, so what else is, or who else I should say, who else is group 2 becoming, please Spirit? Who else is group 2 becoming? We have here the Two of Ink, medium, balance, purpose, and setting. And with the word medium, I know they mean it as like a creative medium, but I'm actually reading this as medium, someone who connects to spirit. And we also have the protagonist, yes! Look, and she looks like Ella. Look at that. So you yourself may look like these beautiful, lovely ladies on this card. And what do we have here? What do we have here? So, yes, balance, purpose, and setting, curiosity, drive, and motivation. So you guys really are having this curiosity and this drive and this sense of purpose and motivation to go after your purpose. And it's not like you have to chase it around because it's already there. It's already with you. You just have to dig through some of that shadow, reunite with your inner child to really feel like you are the protagonist or the main character energy of your own story. Because you guys, I think many of you have played on the sidelines of your own life, and your own higher self is coming in to say, not today, not happening anymore. We are taking a front row seat, and not even a front row seat. Spirit's like, why are you even out there in the audience? Get on the damn stage, woman. Get on the damn stage, man. Come on, let's do this thing. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're no longer playing on the sidelines or sitting in the audience of your own freaking life. And I love this because for many of you, this has been a very long time coming. Some of you with this setting here, maybe even changing jobs, changing locations where you live, where you go. Even if you're not changing your job or your home, maybe you're just trying out new coffee shops or taking new routes to work. You're just shifting the setting, maybe you're even getting out in nature more, because we did talk about that earlier, about just your connection to nature is something that really drives you and helps motivate you. But many of you, it's like, I don't think you guys think it's a waste of time per se, but sometimes you're just like, well, I don't have time for that. So really, You make time for the things that are priorities in your life is what I'm hearing. And for one person watching this, you're going to realize that someone, your significant other or someone that you've kind of been seeing or going back and forth with energetically, has been putting you on the back burner. And you realize because everything that is a priority in your life, you're putting it front and center. And if this person's putting you back burner, then you may not be the priority in their life that they are in your life. And this is time for you to re-examine, you know, just where do I fit with this person? Where does this person fit with me? Okay, who else is group 2 becoming? What are group 2 evolving into? That's too many, Spirit, but thank you. All right. We got the same card anyway. There were like 3 of them, and then Monk Nun was on top, which it makes sense that this needed to come out. I just probably should have taken the top one and called it a day, but I did not. But it came out anyway, so yay, all good. But right here, wasn't it? Nothing is more hard won than innocence. And to me, innocence really does correlate with that nun and monk attribute. But with the light attribute here, it says selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. The shadow attributes are negative judgments of the physical world and excess piety. So you guys really are overcoming this shadow attribute of negative judgment of yourself, negative judgment of others, like we were talking about. I mean, of course, we all live with this dose of ego going on. If you can live with a healthy dose of ego, it's going to serve you just fine. But if you are somebody who's letting the ego in the driver's seat just like crashing around like a 16-year-old that just got their license, who's drunk and on drugs and just like going everywhere. Not saying all 16-year-olds who just got their license do that. Most don't, but you know, just for the sake of this analogy, that is like what having the ego run the show is like. And you guys aren't doing that anymore. If you have, I think many of you actually, it's like you, and in your younger years, you were very responsible. Maybe you took a time where you were a little less responsible, especially with finances is what I'm seeing. But you're back on that responsible train, and you're ready to really devote yourself to your spiritual practice, to becoming the greatest version of yourself. And it's really going to serve you because that's exactly where you're supposed to be on your road of life right now. All right, what else is going on? Who else is group 2 becoming? Or what else is going on with that, I should say. We have here wait, which is interesting because in this position with this deck, group 1 got the void card, which was all about stopping and just taking a break and just being in the void for a while. But you have here wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. So again, this facing of your shadow side and integrating that younger version or that inner child aspect of yourself, this is going to serve you moving forward. And we also have lifting the veil. Yes, that medium that we picked up on, really tuning into your spiritual gifts, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So you really are questioning, you know, is this person right for me? Is the way I'm treating myself right for me? Is this food I'm eating right for me? Is that TV show I'm watching triggering me and right for me? Like, you know, you're just examining all the things. And anything that's not in alignment with your higher self and that version of yourself that you are in the midst of becoming, it's gotta go. And for many of you, this could be relationships with yourself, relationship with others. And again, that doesn't mean the person has to go. It's just the dynamics within the relationship have gotta go if they are not aligned with your higher self. Okay, where else are we going? Let's go in with this deck. Okay, what else does group 2 need to know about who they are becoming? Group 2. Okay, we want this one. Yoga. What else? And crystals. So yes, you guys really are leaning into that more spiritual side. And look, on the back of the deck, we've also got study. I just saw that, so I thought it would be pertinent information there. So just studying and knowing what's right for you and avoiding the things that you know aren't going to take you down a good road. But with this yoga card, it says your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercise. So this is just you getting more in tune with your physical vessel, because I think a lot of you, it's like you fantasize about the life you want a lot of times, but you don't actually make it happen. And that's spirit calling you out. I'm not trying to trigger anybody here, but we do have a lot of shadow going on because, interestingly enough, we've got black and white, not a lot of gray going on in her wardrobe or her wardrobe. So it's almost like you're going to have a hard turn from one way of existing into another. And this is for the better, though. There's not a lot of gray area going on between who you were and who you're going to be, because you're taking a hard, like, hairpin turn to become a greater version of yourself. And one good way to do that is to really, you know, you've got all this higher chakra energy going on. One good way to ground that higher chakra and spiritual energy into the world is to get real present in your body and get grounded. So yoga might be something you can do, Tai Chi, walking in nature, hiking in nature. These could be great practices. Swimming in natural pools or natural lakes, oceans, just connecting to spirit. Maybe for some of you that's bringing a lot of crystals home. I know I bring way too many crystals home because I'm a crystal hoarder at this point. Not quite, but you know, I'm maybe on the verge of it. But I love me some crystals. They're like friends to me. So maybe you guys can really resonate with the fact that, yes, you love crystals as well. But it says your connection to crystals and gemstones is a channel for healing energy. So wearing crystals, carrying crystals around, connecting with the energy of crystals. You don't even have to own a single crystal. You can just connect to the energy of amethyst or the energy of moldavite or the energy of clear quartz. Whatever it is that you're connected to, you can just look up a picture of it and connect to the crystal's energy. You don't even have to have them physically on your person. I know some people might disagree with me on that, but that is just the guidance that I have gotten from my own guides, that, yeah, you don't even need to have that crystal in your embodiment, in your aura. It helps. It definitely helps, because there is this such thing that a lot of humans have this thought that I need physical proof that this thing is working and manifesting. So if you're someone who can visualize very easily, you won't even need the crystal. But if you're someone who you want to feel it, you want to touch it, you want to have it in your presence, you might have to do that to really connect the way you want to. All right, so let's get a couple more from this deck here. All right, what else does group 2 need to know about who they are becoming? It's this one. I want it. Okay, we got two. We got two. So we've got here the Galactic Mushroom. I love that card. It's so hilarious. So the number 24, which adds up to 6, and the number 15, which adds up to 6. So this is about bringing more balance into your life. So that is 3 depictions of balance. 6 is balance, 6 is balance, and then with 2 of ink, balance. Needing to balance. And then justice was all about getting more balanced, balanced scales. So that's the name of the game for you. You guys are becoming someone who is more balanced. Not so all the way over here or all the way over there. You're balancing out, which is so good. It's such a good thing. But with this Galactic Mushroom card here, you're removing yourself from that 3D matrix and moving on up to that 5th dimension or that Christ consciousness. It's powerful stuff, you guys. You really are attaching yourselves to the divine matrix or the original matrix of this earth, rather than that 3D matrix that's kind of been put over like a strip of really yucky old peeling wallpaper. Like, that's what the 3D matrix really is on this beautiful, beautiful earth. And they're showing me another example of someone who puts linoleum over exquisite hardwood floors. Like, who does that? But like, people have done that. So that 3D matrix is like yucky, scuffed up, scratched up, ripped up linoleum over immaculate hardwood floors. That maybe those hardwood floors just need a little bit of refinishing, you know, you facing that shadow. But as you do that, you refinish those amazing hardwood floors that are beneath the surface. Wow, I mean, these things shine and glow, and they're a statement all on their own in any room that you're in. So that's the analogy Spirit's really giving you for that, but that's amazing. And also Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. So many of you are moving out of the stagnation of that 3rd dimensional matrix, that yucky linoleum that has been put over your beautiful hardwood floors. You're not having it anymore. You are stepping out of that and stepping into being that main character energy. You really are, and this is so powerful, you guys. I am excited that I was the one today that got to deliver this amazing message from Spirit to you. If this resonated or you have any stories you want to share below, please do so. I always love to hear what you guys have to say and any stories you want to share. I always love to see that. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right here back at the Done Creative, also over on my Livestream channel and my Patreon, which are both linked in the description below if you would like more information about those. All right, I love you. Bye. All right, group number 3, or those of you who selected Dolly, this is going to be your message about who you are becoming or who it is you're evolving into. Wow, I just love this so much. We have with Dolly Parton, it says here, the higher the heels, the closer to heaven. So this is really, I don't know if you guys are my fashionista pile, but this is just about you feeling yourself. Feeling really good about yourself really brings you closer to your own ultimate happiness, your higher self, heaven, God, the universe, whatever it is you want to ascribe to that. But you feeling really good about your appearance, feeling really good on the inside, it really starts to reflect on the outside and then back on the inside again. It's like a beautiful cycle. It just keeps giving. The love just keeps illuminating in your life. But it says here, caution will get you nowhere. So it's interesting because they're showing here, throwing caution to the wind. I think you guys have been cautious enough, especially those fashionistas out there. Maybe there's been a few trends or things that aren't even trends that you've just been wanting to try or express, especially like really bright or vivid eye makeup or bright or vivid colors that you aren't used to wearing, like for clothing, makeup choices, maybe scarves in your hair, that you're finally saying, you know, screw it. I am going to wear this and let me just see how I feel. Let me just see what it does for me. And you're going to really notice that people aren't looking at you like, ew, what is she doing? What is he doing? But you're going to notice people like, oh, wow. And you're probably getting a lot of compliments by, you know, throwing caution to the wind and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to live my truth, live my light. And not just with your external appearance, but just in the way you feel. Like you're realizing, you know, you don't have to apologize for the way you feel, and it's okay to not feel 100% all the time is also what Dolly's energy is really projecting here. You don't have to feel totally 100% or like the on switch is on 24/7, 365. That's not healthy, and that's something that you guys I think have been really working on is, you know, allowing yourself to just be. Like I always say here, we're not human doings, we're human beings. So be from time to time. Once in a while, just be. And the most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised. I cannot talk today. The most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones. So it doesn't have to be the most expensive, the most worthy looking thing going on in the external world, but sometimes you're gonna notice that trash really is treasure. So they're almost showing me that kind of cliche or stereotypical thing where the hot girl is always mean and she has no personality. I don't believe that's stereotype, but that's just kind of what Spirit's showing me is, you know, those really beautiful diamonds on the outside usually are ugly on the inside. I don't, again, ascribe to that, but just for the sake of example, that's what Spirit's showing. But they're showing me with this that sometimes things that don't look like they align with you on the outside actually do once you really take a chance, throw caution to the wind, and really get to know someone that, you know, normally you wouldn't be attracted to energetically. Or I'm seeing like you approaching someone who's just being very quiet and kind of to keep into themselves, and you are being that guy, that person to be like, you know what, I will go introduce myself and, you know, not make them feel so alone, because I think you at one point in your life felt alone and just wish someone would come and talk to you because you were too intimidated to go up to a group of people and talk to them. But you are becoming that person who includes everybody. And even if you've already been that person throughout most of your life, you're really owning that and really embodying that moving forward. Beautiful message from the Dolly card. Okay, what else do we have going on? Let's see. Actually, I'm going to do this. We have room on the bottom for the other cards. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle some additional cards here on camera, but we've got here the Page of Wands and the Hierophant. So the Page of Wands is all about really having this creative passion, this creative fire, maybe getting a new creative download from Spirit. But this to me feels like you recreating yourself from the inside out. Even if you're not changing a lot on the outside, it's like there's a lot changing on the inside that eventually, yeah, things are gonna change on the outside as well. Because this Page of Fire, there may be someone in your life, if you're not the fire sign, which would be your Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there may be a younger or just a very vivacious and young, energetic energy of a person in your life that is really inspiring you to lean more into this authentic version of yourself. Because look, this person has mixed prints and patterns, but they still look very cool and awesome, and they don't look like they are uncomfortable in the clothing they're in. These clothes actually look very comfortable, but I mean, as far as, are people judging me because I'm mixing prints and patterns? No, this person just looks like, yeah, what's next on my horizon? I am ready for this. But also with this Hierophant card here, this is a very non-traditional Hierophant card, and I love that it's really embodying this divine feminine rather than the divine masculine in this energy, or the more patriarchal masculine. So this is a lot of my feminists, or those who just want to, you know, F the patriarchy, down with the patriarchy. You guys, you're becoming someone who, again, is more inclusive of other people's ideas. Even if you don't adopt those ideas as your own, you're just allowing people to be who they are, because you're wanting to be your authentic self, and you're gonna just know that other people deserve, just like you do, to be their authentic selves as well. So even if their ideologies, their political beliefs and leanings, religious beliefs and leanings are different than yours, that doesn't mean you can't be friends and get along and have an amazing relationship with somebody. And you're realizing that, especially the way the world looks right now. There's a lot of division, a lot of divide and conquer going on, and you guys aren't having it. You're gonna ride right down the middle and say, there's room for everyone here, and you're gonna be a forerunner in that area of life where people just feel very loved and included by you by just being themselves. They don't have to show up wearing a false mask or, you know, the best trends or whatever, because they know that you're not judging them the way they may even be judging themselves. You are just this beautiful, clear channel of light that is coming here to let people know they can be inspired by actually listening to other people's viewpoints, rather than feeling like on guard and like you got to put your boundaries up because someone isn't, you know, jiving with your energy specifically. Remember, caution will get you nowhere. I mean, there are times to be cautious. This is not saying never be cautious, but you get what I'm saying. Use your intuition about that. All right. So what else is going on for group 3? What is group 3 becoming, or who is group 3 becoming? We got two. We got two that popped right out, so let's find out. All right, just like group number 2, you guys have the protagonist card, so I'm loving that that's coming out as well. So I don't know, maybe you guys chose groups 2 and 3, but I'm already seeing a lot of alignment with the energy here, so this just could be a collective energy. But the protagonist, this is about becoming that main character of your own life. And like I was saying in group 2, many of you have been sitting in the audience of your own life, and Spirit's like, hey, you don't belong out here. You need to be up on stage. That's what we're all here for. And we can't watch the show if you're not up there on stage giving us the show. Not that you need to perform for anybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be just a second-rate version of someone else. You need to be embodying that first-rate version of you and who you are. But with this Page of Wands pairing up with the protagonist, this is you taking that curiosity, drive, and motivation of that Page of Wands and really taking it the distance to really morph yourself into the main character of your own story. Because really this is such a Page of Wands energy with these little keywords here: curiosity, drive, motivation. You know, all of those Wands court cards really do resonate with that energy anyway. But we also have the Two of Thread, twine, agreement, symbiosis, and compromise. What were we saying? What were we already saying about being inclusive, not having to agree to disagree, not having to agree to have everything align and you be on and popping with a whole bunch of people. We don't all have to agree. We can agree to disagree at times, but also that symbiosis, living together, all performing our different roles and being our unique selves, and also compromising with other people so as to not always just be getting your way or them be getting their way, but, you know, finding that beautiful middle road or middle ground that we were already talking about. And anytime this card comes out, I'm always reminded of that book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So I'll write it right here. That might be a book that you want to check out and look into if you haven't already. I know many of my longtime subscribers have already read that and let me know that, wow, this was really a transformational book. And the more times you read this book, the more profound insights you will get. I read it first in 2018 and then again in early 2021, and mind blown how much more the beautiful wisdom of this book really sunk in and resonated with me the second time around. So go check that book out. I know it's also available for free here on YouTube as an audiobook. Someone did tell me, though, there are a lot of ads, so if you're not wanting to be interrupted with ads, maybe checking the book out from your library or trying to find it in a used bookstore. I always like to put that intention out there when I'm looking for a specific book. I like to try to buy used first, or, you know, very, very first, see if my library has it, and then try to buy it used second, or listen to it on YouTube for free third if I can, and then fourth, I will, if I can't find it anywhere else, then I will buy it. So I don't know. Maybe you're looking into that book. Okay, let's see what else group 3 needs to know about who they're becoming or who they're evolving into. Dawn 1, I love that, paired up with what we were talking about with Dolly feeling herself. We've got here the light attribute spotlights your positive seductive qualities, and the shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas, which, because this is the shadow aspect, this is what I'm feeling you guys are moving out of. So anytime you used your looks to get your way, you know, Dolly's got her cleavage real pumped up and puffed up here. Spirit's showing me now like someone getting pulled over and they see it's a guy cop and they're a female, so they like hurry and put some lipstick on and, you know, show a little bit of cleavage just to, you know, bat their pretty eyelashes and say, hey, I didn't realize I was speeding, and kind of using your looks to get your way. Not everybody's going to resonate with that, though. Spirit's already letting me know not everyone's going to resonate that that's ever been anything you've ever done or ever will do. So if that part doesn't resonate, just let it fly on by. But for the most part, this is really spotlighting your positive seductive qualities. Again, it does not have to be all about the looks. This could just be your amazing excitement for life, that passion for life, that curiosity for life that really inspires others to feel the same way. All right, what else for group 3? Almost said 2. Group 3, let us know who they are becoming. Anything else about who they are becoming and evolving into. This one definitely needs to come out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Loosen your grip. And it says here, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So many of you have in the past dealt with coping mechanisms, density, addiction, and just not letting God in, or not really going within to find the answers, but trying to find those answers in other relationships, on TV, through the media, through social media, just anywhere but going within. Maybe many of you, it took a long time to go within because it scared you, the things that you saw about yourself on the inside. Those shadow aspects are not always a good time. So to actually face those, that takes, you know, dedication and a backbone to really dive in and face that. So some of you also still may be kind of overcoming some coping mechanisms and addictions in your life. And just to say here, keep going. You're doing an amazing job. If that's the road that you're on currently, keep going. You're doing it. You're doing the thing. We also have here surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and make love to life. And I have always associated Dolly Parton with that very beautiful and Venusian energy. I know a lot of people with a wonderfully placed Venus, or even Venus in Cancer, have like very voluptuous figures, and also I'm really picturing Marilyn Monroe here too. So I don't know if Dolly Parton and Marilyn Monroe have similar placements with their Venus, or they're placed in the same sign or the same house or something. I'm really curious now. I might want to go look into that now that I'm saying that, but that's the energy that's coming through here, is just enjoying the pleasures of life, enjoying looking good if that's your prerogative, enjoying feeling good on the inside if that's your prerogative, or both, or all of the above, and making love to life with that Don Juan quality, your seductive quality, and just really shining that light. It doesn't have, you know, those seductive qualities and making love to life does not have to be sexual by any stretch of the imagination, but just really exploring and diving into these more sensual parts of life. This could look as simple as those Taurus energies, which, because Taurus is ruled by the sign of Venus, but I'm seeing like Taurus. I'm a Taurus sun in Western astrology, so I love me a luxurious blanket. The smoother, the softer, the better. And I'm very picky with like my bed linens and that type of stuff, because I want to feel good. And also my clothing, like if it's itchy or uncomfortable or too tight or too loose, like it just kind of bothers me. So maybe you guys really are evolving into this person who, you know exactly what you want and you're gonna go get it with the finer things in life, or at least You know, the finer things in life don't always have to be. Remember, the most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones. You could go to Walmart and find yourself a $14 plushy blanket that will be more luxurious to you than some, you know, $400 blanket that's very stiff, and although it looks pretty, it's just very stiff and not very comfortable at all. So again, kind of coming full circle back to that, the most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones energy there. But you know, finding more pleasure and joy in life is part of who you're becoming. You're not so rigid and stiff and like, well, I gotta do all these things before I can enjoy myself. No, you're taking time. You're physically scheduling time into your calendar to enjoy yourself, to work on your self-development, your self-care, your spiritual journey. And it's powerful and it's beautiful. All right, what else is going on? Group 3. All right, we've got travel. So it says your life purpose involves traveling. So some of you may be wanting to travel more, or who you're becoming is someone who wants to get out, that wanderlust energy, get out and travel. And this appeared on the back of the deck for group 2. So there are a lot of similarities between you and group 2, if you want to check that out, which I've already talked about, but yes. Study. So reading, research, and education help you gain confidence. This is the name of the game here, confidence and clarity about your career. So some of you may be wanting to shift your career or just your sense of purpose in life, just knowing who you are. Like I had talked about, I want to say it might have been group 1, wanting to learn about your divine blueprint, about your soul contract, about your birth chart, your human design, your personality type, just wanting to know these things so that you could really immerse yourself into who you are, so that you know what is for you and what is not for you, to really lean into that authenticity we were talking about in group number 1. All right, what else is going on for group 3? Who is group 3 becoming? Who is group 3 evolving into? Please, Spirit, here's 1. Deep quiet. Yes, number 11, meditation and stillness. So all 3 piles have this time where they need to, between their past and their future, take a hot minute to just breathe and be quiet and be a human being, not a human doing. And that's you guys as well. Yes, yes, it so is, because you're being called. You are being called group 2, 3. Sorry, I keep mixing that up. Not as bad as I did though in the October reading. If you watched that hot mess of a group mix-up, I'm so sorry about that. The messages were powerful. I just couldn't get on board because I grabbed the stacks out of order and then read them, and then, yeah, it was a thing. So yeah, anyway. But with the number 11 here, this is you awakening to your more spiritual side, spiritual awakening. And that could be that Page of Wands, that initial spark of awakening, and you taking it the distance to become that main character in your own life. But it's going to come also as a result, or after the fact that you have taken this little grace period of meditation and stillness that we have talked about in all 3 groups. So that is such a big part of who you're becoming, is someone who can allow themselves to take a hot minute to just be, without having to do and accomplish and, you know, be on all the time. You guys really are taking the lead on that in your own life. We also have the number 52 here, which adds up to 7, which is about that internal introspection, that hermit energy, which I also get very well from this study card. Very hermit vibes in both of these here as well, but just wanting to learn and research about who you are from the inside and going within even. You don't have to go get a physical book, because you guys can meditate and be still and learn a lot more about yourself than you can from studying anything else. But it says here, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Yes, you are. And just like we were talking about, again, want to say it was group 2, you're no longer connected 100% to that 3D matrix that I was saying in group 2 was like an ugly linoleum thrown over an amazing hardwood floor. Because people used to do that, and I talked all about that in group 2, but they're saying that it's so relevant in this group as well. But you know, you're peeling off that scuffed up, yucky, scraggly looking linoleum and refinishing the beautiful original blueprint underneath, which is the divine matrix, not this 3D matrix that was put down as that yucky linoleum over the top. You're removing yourself from the linoleum, or removing the linoleum from your own life, and then refinishing what's going on below. And the refinishing part of this, to me, really does resonate with the shadow work, which I also plugged my recent interview with your shadow video in group 2. If you missed that recent upload of mine, you can always go on my channel and find that. I don't think I can link it in the cards a second time, but I did link it in the cards for group 2. But yeah, you are wandering between realms. So you are dipping out of the 3D matrix and into more 5th dimensional consciousness, or Christ consciousness as they call it. You're not just settling for this 3D matrix anymore. You are checking on out and going to higher realms, which is amazing. And again, with this card, when it comes out, this is all about really leaning into your spiritual gifts and utilizing these gifts and practicing these gifts and acknowledging that you even have these gifts, because you are spirit first and foremost, and second, a human being. So a lot of times as humans, we think this is the end all be all of our existence, which this is just but a blip on the radar. And this isn't even the true reality of who we are, because our true reality is our life beyond the veil as souls. So if you can dip into the fact that you are a soul, know you have these spiritual abilities because you are a spiritual being having a human experience, it will be much easier for you to embody and integrate these spiritual gifts into your life. But that is who you're becoming. You're evolving into someone much more spiritually evolved than who you have been. You're becoming that main character of your own life, and it's so beautiful. Also with that Hierophant energy, it's very leadership quality as well, and not doing things so much the traditional way, the way that normally the Hierophant is depicted. This is you taking those traditions and turning them on their head and doing them your way, the Dolly way, the insert your name here way. That's how you're doing it, my friend. So I just wanted to say, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you have any stories you want to share, if this resonated, if it didn't, whatever you want to talk about in the comments, I am here for you, my friend. And as always, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you, yes, you, my special, amazing group number 3s, right here back at the Den Creative, also over on my live stream channel, the Den Creative Live, and my Patreon. Link for both of those things are in the description below if you would like more information about that, and I hope to see you back here. I love you. Bye!